Let's see, read the notice. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided, indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Moment of prayer and silence. Oath of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro?
Here.
Councilwoman McCabe?
Here.
Councilwoman Snyder?
Here.
Council President Fire?
Here.
Mayor McKay?
Here. Motion to come out, you want to give motion to come out, right? Yeah, motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Council was in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. The topics of discussion were contractual regarding the interlocal agreement for Belvedere Road intersection roadway project, contractual regarding the Route 57 pump station project, Duane contract, and not on the listed on the agenda, contractual regarding Phillipsburg High School policing and vehicles.
Thank you.
The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Thank you.
Thank you. I see the first thing today on the agenda is a special presentation by the PTA Scholarship Committee, I guess, and there are recipients and committee here.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Thank you for this opportunity to allow us to showcase the pride and joy of Lopatcong, and by honoring them with scholarships through the PTA. I'd like to introduce Ms. Yvonne Rittemeyer, who's going to talk to you about the scholarships and what they're named for, and we can introduce our Lopatcong students to you.
Okay,
Great.
very good.
Thank you.
I'm going to try to stand this way. I apologize for that.
You can move the mic if you need to.
Great, thanks, John. Each year, the Lopatcong PTA is proud to present 4 scholarships to graduating high school seniors who were also graduates of the Lopatcong Township Middle School. We'd like to thank the mayor and members of council for helping us recognize these outstanding young men and women here tonight. This year, we are proud to present the winners for 2016. The Lillian Frankenfield Scholarship is named for Lillian Frankenfield, who was a member of the Lopatcong Township Board of Education and volunteered at a very late age to become the Lopatcong Township PTA president when no one else would take the position. Her grandson is Raymond Roseberry, a retired Lopatcong Township police officer. Lillian was also the chairman of the Warren County Republican Committee, as well as the county council president. The winner of the Lillian Frankenfield Scholarship is graduating Phillipsburg High School, planning to attend Fairleigh Dickinson University to study accounting. While a student at Phillipsburg, he was a senior class officer, a member of the National Honor Society, participated in clubs and activities such as Key Club, Bowling Club, Performing Arts Club, played several sports including soccer, track, and tennis, held a full-time job, all while maintaining a 4.94 grade point average. And those are just a few of the accomplishments. I pared this down a lot. The Lopatcong PTA would like to congratulate Christopher Fiorenza, this year's recipient of the Lillian Frankenfield Scholarship. Our second scholarship is the Bertha Lawrence Scholarship. Bertha Lawrence was a Lopatcong Township school teacher and was born and raised in Lopatcong Township. Her great-grandmother was Eleanor Snyder, a former Lopatcong Township PTA president. Bertha was professionally known as the first helping teacher named out of Trenton for the state of New Jersey. She would travel from school to school within the state to assist and mentor other teachers. She was especially helpful regarding curriculum. She was an extraordinary educator and well-respected throughout the state of New Jersey. This year's winner of the Bertha Lawrence Scholarship is also graduating from Phillipsburg High School and is planning to attend Northeastern University. This award winner not only maintained a GPA of 5.33 while participating in marching band, cross country, dance, hit band, but she also founded an organization called Mission Vision that collects eyeglasses for the vision impaired abroad. This winner was recognized as a member of the National Honor Society, a National AP Scholar, and the Lopatcong PTA would like to congratulate Jillian Montilla, this year's recipient of the Bertha Lawrence Scholarship. Our third scholarship is named for Callie McRoberts. Callie McRoberts was a longtime fourth grade teacher for the Lopatcong Township School District. She began at the old Delaware Park School, then at the elementary school. She was a firm but fair teacher who took charge of her classroom and students. Callie taught in the Lopatcong Township School District for approximately 40 years. The winner of the Callie McRoberts Scholarship is also graduating Phillipsburg High School and will be attending the John Jay College of Criminal Justice to study criminal justice. As a member of the National Honor Society, Politics Club, a class officer, Student Leadership Council member, she was also captain of not only the girls' freshman soccer team, but captain of the girls' varsity soccer team, all while holding 3 jobs and still managed to make high honor roll 4 times and honor roll 8 times. The winner of this year's Callie McRoberts Scholarship is Sydney Soleimani. Our last scholarship was named for Betty Trauger. Betty Trauger was honored in 2008 with an award for 51 years of selfless service to Warren County PTA and in the New Jersey State PTA. She began her PTA career as a PTA member in Lopatcong Township and then held many offices within the Lopatcong PTA. In fact, Betty has served in every officer position except treasurer and was Lopatcong Township PTA president from 1962 to 1964. Betty also served as the Warren County PTA president, vice president, and secretary for many years. Betty held many of these prestigious positions while she tirelessly served Lopatcong Township PTA and remains to this day a valuable resource and friend to our community. The winner of the Betty Trauger Scholarship is also graduating from Phillipsburg High School, and while undecided where he will attend college, to date has been accepted at Ramapo, Rider, Susquehanna, and Hofstra universities, where he plans to study finance. During his years at Phillipsburg, he was a member of the varsity tennis team, ski club, the president of the environmental club, the National Honor Society, and more. He was a recipient of the Rachel's Challenge Kindness Award, the Enthusiastic Reader Award, and multiple honor and high honor roll awards. This year's winner for the Betty Trauger Scholarship is Taylor Swin. Congratulations to all of our winners, and best of luck to you in your future endeavors.
As you can see why we're very proud of our Lopatcong students.
That's very nice, and on behalf of the council and the people of Lopatcong, we're proud of you too. Keep it up. Thank you very much for coming here tonight.
Do you want to excuse them? Give them a moment.
Yes.
If you guys don't want to stay, you're more than welcome
Yeah,
to.
we'll give you a moment to leave. This was the hard part of the meeting. Okay, we'll take a motion to go into public comment agenda items only.
Motion.
Take a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's open. Is there anyone among you that wishes to make public comment? I hear none, I see none, so I may ask for motion to close public comment agenda items only.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Old business. Item 1, approve executive session minutes for March 21 and executive regular session minutes for May 4th, 2016. Take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
I guess that's roll call.
Questions and comments first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm speeding through.
That's okay.
Yes.
Every meeting I've been saying no to approving the minutes for executive and regular session. Sometimes I explain it, sometimes I don't, because I have said it too many times, but I'm going to say it one last time. We have no process on how we do our minutes. There's nothing uniform. According to Robert's rules, we're supposed to have a uniform procedure, and we do not. So that's why I am not approving the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, then vote to approve the minutes. Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
No.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor Michelle.
Yes, this time, because they are timely. Resolution number 1676, memorialize permanent appointment of Jason Garcia of Chief of Police per notification of the Civil Service Commission. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 1677, memorialize permanent appointment of Scott Bishey as lieutenant for notification of the Civil Service Commission.
Motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number Jason, congratulations. Ordinance 2016-13, second reading and public hearing to amend, reside, and supplement Chapter 7, Bills, Claim, and Voucher Approval to revise the procedure for payment of claims. Motion?
Motion.
Oh, we have to go on the hearing, right?
Oh, you gotta
Second,
open it.
just a
Yeah.
second. Motion to open the hearing. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are open for public hearing with respect to this amendment to amend, revise, and supplement Chapter 7, Bills, Claims, and Voucher Approval to... Now, I didn't put this one through personally, so I believe this was done by... Was it you, Mr. Pryor? Did you bring this one in?
No, I think it was almost by group we asked Katrina to do
All right,
it. I did note that,
I think the mayor asked to,
really,
originally asked to, I think, look at some of it.
I did know
and
we had the records,
But
Way
I
back.
personally.
the charter
asked
and the
them
ordinance.
You drafted
I
it.
looked at some other towns, took theirs, and then compared it to your charter. So, like, for example, this is very similar to one that Harmony has, although Harmony has a different charter. So you'll see that the things that are different because of the charter are what's different anyway. So.
Okay, so this is to improve that process. I'll take a motion to
Motion.
approve. I'll take a second. To approve. Oh, to close, to close.
To close? I'll
To
second
close,
it.
all right. All right, so now, we'll take a vote on closing. Or we can do all in favor for closing, right? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now, the next thing,
We didn't have a motion for the vote.
We're doing that now.
we're doing that now.
Closing.
All right,
Oh, I thought you did.
We open, close, but it.
we close public comment.
I think Joe made the motion to close the motion. Wait a second.
What? Yeah. Do we-
Yeah, we're good. We gotta vote
Motion to
now.
vote.
Okay, motion to vote.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, a roll call? Yes. so no.
Councilman Delgado?
Yes.
Councilwoman McKay?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Michael?
Yes. Resolution 1678 to approve application for Safe Routes to School funding to make infrastructure improvements that will improve the walking and biking environment for students. This is primarily, or is only for lower grade students like below high school. We are going to make a grant, we're applying for a grant from the federal government in a large amount of money to extend sidewalks throughout the community in places where the engineer and others that get involved in this deem we need the sidewalks to make it safe for the kids to walk back and forth to school. Paul, you going to cover this in your engineering, or do you wish to speak now?
I'll speak now.
Okay.
One of the key things that needs to be addressed in order to file an application for funding is to make sure that the local school district is on board with the application and will support the application. Several weeks ago, I met with the superintendent and we discussed the program and what it was all about. And we discussed specifically locations within the township where pedestrian improvements would be beneficial for school children going to and from schools and where it would benefit from a safety perspective. And I think we came to an understanding of where these projects should occur. And if we did it in that manner, and we are going to do it in the manner that we discussed back in May, then there would be support from the school district for the application. So that's why you have this resolution tonight. If the school district wasn't on board with the application, I wouldn't have brought it forth tonight for approval. And what is happening just with this application, the school board has to adopt a similar resolution. School board will have a number of tasks that they have to perform between now and June 27th that will have to be attached to the application that's filed with the state, and I know they're working on it already. And because some of the sidewalk improvements are on a county road, we will also need a resolution of support from the county freeholders, and that resolution has been submitted to the county freeholders so that they can place it on an agenda for action at this point. So our recommendation in summary is that you adopt the resolution tonight because there is local support for the application, both from you and the school district.
Are there any outstanding things that the town has to do in order to get this grant? I mean, sometimes there's strings attached to
I'll need some help from the police department getting accident reports. We'll need to get some letters of support locally from organizations. I have to talk to Beth about that to see who we would target to get letters of support for the application. So there's a few things that need to be done to augment the application, but most of it's in progress right now. Most of it will be addressed by the application form itself.
And then do we have to put up money first, or do we have to spend a certain amount first before we get it back? Like, what's the finance part of it? Like some of the grants you have to.
Actually, the state, that's a great question. The state just created a local design assistance program to help municipalities with the design of these projects. This was not something that had been done in the past, and the municipalities had to foot the bill for the design, and they're providing municipalities up to $100,000 to do design work. One of my towns, I picked up probably $330,000 grant last year, and they've entered the local design assistance program. The state has vetted a number of firms and created a pool of firms to do design work. I believe there's 4 firms in that pool. So all you need to do is pick one of the firms, negotiate a contract, get that contract approved by the state, and then you're in the program, and then you can get your bills reimbursed for the design. So that's what would be in store for us moving forward if we're to get this grant approved by the state. And then as far as the construction phase, your construction expenses or a chunk of them would be covered, and potentially our inspection could also be covered by it. So the federal aid grants are, can be very, very good. You can get some high dollar amounts from this program. Probably the downside is that the state makes you do various things as part of doing it. You have to have full-time inspector on the job. There's a lot of paperwork that has to be filed because there's a lot of federal regulations that come into play because of the federal funding. But the upside, I think, is a lot greater than that, and that's why a lot of towns go for this funding and try to build sidewalks and other improvements through that program.
Okay, and then just paying those bills, we pay them up front and then get reimbursed? Or do we submit the bill?
Yeah, we would have to fund it, and it's a reimbursable program, but the reimbursement's a little different than your local aid program. Before we talked about the Phillipsburg High School roadway improvement project, and we had a $300,000 grant for that. And under that program, you can request 75% of your grant money once you award a construction contract. So we've already obtained $225,000 out of our $300,000 in grant money, and that occurred in roughly a 45-day period. The other 25%, we are not eligible for that money until we complete the project and the DOT approves the construction on the project. The federal aid program is a little different. You can actually submit invoices on a monthly basis and obtain reimbursement as you go. The federal government will, actually I should say federal, the DOT will hold back the last 10% until the project is completed and approved. So you can ask as you go up to 90% of your grant money.
Great.
All right, thank you, Paul.
Thanks.
So we would, we're in the middle of this. No, that wasn't discussion. That was, we need to do a vote on this. All right. Take a motion to approve this resolution.
Motion.
Take a second.
I'll second.
Let's take a roll call on that.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilwoman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Fryer?
Yes.
Mayor McKinney?
Yes.
Before we go on to the next item,
Yes.
Tom, I'm sorry, I was just looking at some of the papers here. Our resolution for executive session on the bottom, it says that we adopted it at a reorganizational meeting held on Wednesday, June 1st. So we can take that out. It says reorganizational meeting. And before we go to the next one, 1679 shows, resolution 1679, also it shows we did it at a reorg meeting held on Wednesday, May 4th. Thank you.
Thank you for those clarifications, Donna. Okay, next item is is item 6, to approve the sewer lateral maintenance and repair policy. Now, this was the one that you and Lou worked on, correct?
Yes.
Joe, okay. Now, has that gone through, Katrina, the final review?
No, not Katrina, and it usually doesn't. It's gone through Paul, and it's gone through Dan. And I'll tell you why it typically does go through Katrina, and if you want to delay it for another month, I really don't have a problem. But it's not adopted by ordinance. The ordinance allows us to adopt rules and regs by resolution, and that's how we do it, just by resolution. And I think the last time we amended the rules and regs were in December 2001. And rules and regs explain a lot of procedural issues. And it also includes a policy, who's responsible for what in the street. And that worked for many years without incident, but it seems we've had a rash of problems in the last
Yes,
year or
we
so.
have.
So this attempts to clarify it. If you feel more comfortable with Katrina giving a review,
I haven't seen, I saw the first one that you gave us last month.
and that's the only one.
Oh, that hasn't been, the reviews didn't bring any change. Okay. I had noticed a couple of minor things. I don't have them in front of me, but I guess wherever it came from originally, like it refers to the city when we have a township. Little things like that.
Well, that's my problem. That's I did that wrong.
No, I'm not. Those things happen. I just,
those.
you want to just try to take a quick look for that. Okay, I think this is definitely a policy that we need. It defines who's responsible for what with the sewer pipes that go from the street to the people's homes. And we just need a clarity on that, so we've done that. And luckily, we have Joe here with us who's got tons of experience in this area, so we were able to kind of do this on our own, which was very good. So, I would take a motion to approve the policy.
Motion.
I'll take a second.
Second.
I'll call a roll.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Yes. Resolution 1679 is to approve, I guess it's a list of employees who have requested a direct deposit for,
Exemption.
oh, exemption.
No.
It says requested.
Okay, all right. So that's exemption. Okay, take a motion to,
There's one additional employee that we have last year to be added, just so you know.
Okay,
I'll be adding another employee.
okay.
and we'll do this, I guess, annually or something and going forward,
Or as needed.
Or as they make those.
or as needed?
Yeah.
All right,
I do have one question procedural. I mean, we're doing this to accommodate existing employees. We have a new employee. Are we going to give him the same option?
Yeah, because I think Janice explained it the last time that she would have all the paperwork ready for that person. So this way they wouldn't have to change banks or, or come back into the municipal building and have to fill out paperwork that they would have it all ready. Isn't that what we?
I said we'd have the paperwork ready for them at the inception when they come on
Right.
board.
Yeah.
But I think that Council President Pryor is asking, we're accommodating the existing employees to opt out because this is something that they might not want, but future employees, we should mandate, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying that
think
should be
so.
part of the deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's,
we'll,
yeah.
in time,
most people do say yes to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should have the option.
okay, that's clarified.
Motion to
What?
approve the resolution?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't say yet. Did you say it?
No, I asked for the motion.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes, on this one.
Councilwoman McCabe?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Yes. Going into new business. To approve the maintenance contract with Gramco for sound system equipment in the amount of $1,050. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
No, we can't do a favor. Roll call, please.
I just want to ask a question.
Is there a discussion?
Are we talking about this equipment?
Yeah, and they put it inside the judge.
Okay.
I thought that, all right.
And they've,
Right.
have they worked for us before?
Absolutely, it's been working for us since I've been here.
Okay, and the price is?
You're kind of the business that does this kind of work.
Yeah, okay. You can vote.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Pampero.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCain.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Charles.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 1680, authorized tax clearance certificate number 2015-012, and premium in the amount of $2,733.09 on Block 42, Lot 10. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call? Oh, anybody wants to speak? Most of these usually don't, but all right. No comments? All right, Beth, please call the roll.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCain.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
And
Yes. Resolution 1681, authorized refund of tax payments for tax year 2016 on exempt property known as,
this is taken off the agenda.
It was?
Yes, it was, because we didn't have enough
Okay.
paperwork to support it. So
Oh, yeah,
that's gonna
I can
be
explain that.
removed and it's gonna go to the June 15th meeting.
I spoke to the tax collector who asked this to be put on the agenda. There have been two individuals who have asked to be 100% disabled veterans, and it's up to council as to the effective date. But I asked Rachel if she could do the calculation, so council, when they're making their decision, understand financially what that means. Because when I did the calculation in my head, it was significant between the two choices. So I asked her if there was any urgency. She said there is no tax payment due for these individuals between now and your next two meetings at least. So there is no harm in holding it. So this way we'll give you, as you look at the resolution now, there's a blank as where the date would go. So what I'd like her to do is give you the possible dates and then what kind of refunds the town would be looking at. And she said to know that kind of she'd like you to set a policy. So it is what it is. So she knows, so she can just prepare the resolution because she feels there are several more who are coming in for that who've asked questions.
We don't have a copy of it anyway.
Should not provide, oh,
No.
but there are certain criteria that they have to meet, right?
oh, absolutely, they
Yes.
have to be
So-
deemed 100% disabled veterans
Yeah,
from the
right.
VA, and they get a
Right,
letter
right,
from the VA, but
Yeah.
the choices are the date that they became disabled, which sometimes is like 4 years earlier, the date the letter came from the VA, the date they told the town, the date they filed an official claim with the town, there's all these different possibilities.
Yeah.
And the statute kind of gives the council the authority to decide. So we're going to lay it out, kind of what your options are
Okay.
and what the
Okay.
implications are.
Okay. Okay. So that one's off the list. We don't have to any further on that until the 15th. All right, approve partial payment number 1 on the Phillipsburg High School roadway improvement project in the amount of $108,945.93. Motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCain.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution number 1682, award a contract to Fred Devens Construction for the new sewer line within the Potts property on North Prospect Street in the amount of $39,704. This is a line that crosses over a stream, and over the years, the encasement around the line and it has worn away, and the stream has eroded, and so we're like real close to where that could possibly break, and that would be very unpleasant. So it's being addressed. I'll take a motion.
Motion.
I'll take a second.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Paul, this was a negotiated contract, correct?
Yes.
And it took us a long time to
Yeah,
get it to this point.
this is the first contractor that went below $40,000. We had other prices that were above and well above the $40,000. This contractor is a quality contractor.
Mhm. Okay.
Is this
Alright.
covered under part of the high school agreement? Or is that
Now, there was a separate bond that was, bond ordinance It was adopted by the council earlier this year, $50,000 to cover the cost of the work as well as some inspection time that had to be spent on the project.
Hey, Mayor, did you say 16-82 for that resolution?
That's what it reads here on my
Should
little,
be 1681.
1680.
Well,
81 on the
It's coming out of our pocket.
Yes.
and I guess 83 becomes 82 then?
Yeah, they were
All right.
numbers
Actually,
like
Dan's
to
gonna
call.
try-
Yeah, you took that one off, yeah, okay. All right, I guess we go to a vote?
Councilman Valcarro?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCain?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
yes.
Council President Blair?
Yes.
Yes. Resolution 1682, to authorize renewal of liquor licenses for the term July 1, 2016 through June 30th, 2017 for Santarum Liquors, Strikers Golf, and Breast Rail.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? I'm trying to figure out, one is for the golf course, one is for the Breast Rail restaurant.
What's Parkway Liquors? Parkway Liquors.
Oh, that's
First one.
Santarum Parkway Liquors, okay.
Right.
I didn't know that one. Okay. Roll call.
Councilman Valcarro?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCain?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Blair?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to add a number 7. This is an appointment to the Mayor's Wellness Committee for 2
Well,
applicants.
you already have.
We have 2 more to go.
Because, Tom, when we got here, there was another agenda, but different from the one.
That's because everybody's adding things on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, so the agenda does change.
We,
There's always a new agenda on the day.
oh,
So the one that you get finally is the one you should pay attention.
it's hard to when you have prepared with the old agenda.
Yes, it is hard.
So, a little
I understand that,
patience.
and I did email it to everybody tonight. with
I got
the
it.
Changes.
Well,
What was low or the cutoff date.
we should have a
We
cutoff.
do make,
We have a
yeah.
cutoff.
Well, we tried to do
No,
that last year. It
I found
didn't
one here
work.
on the desk. It was one. Well, this is actually yours. Approve advertising to hire 2 full-time employees to work in the Department of Public Works, and that's to replace the 2 newer employees who have gone on to different things.
And that's the one that you just added on.
Yes, I added this on Friday.
Maybe I'm a step behind here. I thought we talked about 2 seasonal employees.
That's one.
We
we
did,
talk
but
about
we,
seasonal?
we did, but we still have to advertise for 2 full-time so we can start interviewing and,
Start the process.
start the process because we can't use these seasonal employees for too long because then we can't use them again in the winter,
All right, so we're hiring the seasonal,
in the
and then
interim.
this is to
Yes.
advertise for the full time. I got you.
Yes.
Good question.
So where are we gonna advertise for them? The usual?
The
It's just
usuals.
the municipalities are classified,
On the website.
and we usually put it on the website, and, I think we did, something with the Express. It was, on the internet.
Yes, on the internet, because it was it free on the internet, or was there a small, a lesser fee
It's a
than,
lesser fee.
okay. Do we know how much it is on?
No, probably similar to what it was last time. I think it was like $340 or $400 for 2 weeks, something like that.
Do we want to start out now paying $340 to advertise, or do we want to start with our free advertisements?
No,
It's
I
$100 to put it on the municipalities for 30 days.
start it all out, because this way you reach a broader audience and get your resumes in and get started.
So we're talking about roughly $500 to advertise between the 2. Okay.
Okay.
So we need to add that into this approval, the money portion of it, not to exceed a certain amount, or do we just, how do we do that, Katrina?
Well, if you just direct her, if you just say the places you just said to advertise is okay, then that's fine.
That'll
You know,
do.
As long as you,
Okay,
I think Beth would understand if she comes back and it's 6 times the rate it was before, then she'll come back to you before, but if it's within the normal range.
okay. Okay,
Okay, all right, let's do a vote. No, did we do our motions yet? No, we didn't. Motion, I ask for a motion to do this.
motion.
Second,
Second.
vote please, roll call.
Councilman Valcarro,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Fire.
Yes.
Yes. Resolution 1683, approved estimated tax bills for the third quarter billing. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Now second it.
Is there discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Valcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Fire.
Yes.
Yes. Now we'll add a new 8, to appoint Celia Water and Lillian Daniel to the Mayor's Wellness Committee. I believe their resumes have been circulated.
Volunteer form.
They have, and I don't have a problem with the people. The one thing I think we have to check in the resolution that put the committee together, there is a limit on the number of members. I don't remember what it was.
We're not there. There's only one.
Pardon me? I don't remember what it was.
Yes, no.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm suggesting is I will go along with it.
Okay,
I'll
provided.
even amend the number of members if we have to, but at some point it's going to be capped. Like
Okay. All right, then, any other conversation?
Well, how many members are on this committee already?
I don't know, they keep dropping off because they never get any support. So, I
What kind of support?
will support from the council in the way of financing. But they're real, people that want to do this are going to do it, so. This is primarily going to be, or at least in the beginning, to be something that's for seniors. There's very little in the community for seniors, and these people are trying to put something together, where there's walks for seniors and fitness programs and diets and all that kind of stuff. It's just most of the municipalities in the state are doing it, and we're trying to get it going here, so.
Well, in fairness, we haven't seen any programs yet.
Well, we don't have any people yet. When we get them approved,
We'll work together.
that's right. That's what I want to do. Thank you.
Mayor, just for the record, the maximum number according to the current resolution is 5.
Yeah, well, there are nowhere near that right now.
5, that's not counting Don and the mayor, right? We got the council rep and we got the mayor on it, right?
Right, and then eventually we should have an employee rep too, I think. That would be good.
So we'll be up to 4?
Well, they don't count as members. Those are just reps.
We'll have 4 of the 5 slots, the volunteer slots.
No, we don't, all right, we will, but we don't have them yet. All right, so, take a vote on those, approving those folks.
Motion.
Yeah, second.
Okay, roll call.
Councilman Valcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Fire.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see, after that, we go to council reports. Let's start with,
Wait. Sure. Okay, we had a meeting last month on EDAC. We are going to try to restart up our shop Lopatcong card again. We'll try to do a good through June or July through July. So we're working on that, getting a lot of the same vendors and maybe a few others this time around. LAA, we had a meeting this last month also. They're finalizing their 501c3 filing. We will soon need to address our contract that we spoke about with them a couple of months back, or maybe the end of last year. We'll need to address that and approve it and finalize it so that they can then take their final steps to become a separate. 3, senior citizens. I'm going to send some upgrades for our website. We have a tab for senior citizens. There's not a lot in there. So we're going to try to put some more information in there, some more links to different resources in the county, in Warren County, and just so that everything is in one place and it's easier to just access information that's out there for senior citizens. There's also menus for the lunch program that they have in, I think it's Phillipsburg and Hackettstown, and there's one other location. So we'll put all those links up in one convenient spot. Buildings and grounds. Well, we've got a new air conditioner in this room, and maybe you've all noticed it's a little cooler than usual. It's working properly, and thanks to some hard work from Brian and the vendor that installed it as well. That's done. Our pool is open for business. We do have, I think, a leak that we have to work on and repair and and handle. That's an issue. It's a problem up there, but it's pool season already. Also, veterans had a very successful ceremony on Sunday, and it was a beautiful day, and it was really a nice ceremony that represented all what Lopatcong is about a people helping people, true community effort. And you know what? It was lovely to see, and it was all done on volunteers. I mean, from all levels, employees and businesses, and you know what? It's just proof that this town can come together when it has to come together. So we need to try to put our best step forward when we can. Lastly, I just want to remind people it's campaign season again. Let's all remember that residents have the right to the use and enjoyment of their property without being harassed or because of a particular political sign that they have on their lawn. They have the right to display what sign they like. And if they did not give permission for that sign, they have the right to take that sign down. It's their property. They're paying the taxes. There's no need for anybody to be harassing a fellow resident because they don't like the sign that's on their lawn. You know, let's all be more respectful of each other. And look, it's campaign season. We drop flyers, and that's the way it goes. But let's try to be respectful of each other. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Pryor.
Just two things. We, last month, we enacted our discount program for disabled and seniors. And then we have to announce it and enroll people. I put together an application form that tracks the ordinance, sets out the eligibility criteria, and documentation has to be provided. Beth, I think Katrina's seen that?
Yeah, she does. I sent it to her.
Yes, I reviewed
Did you review it?
Yes,
Okay.
it matches the ordinance.
So now it's just a question of sitting down with Rachel, getting the mechanics down and putting a notice out to, get their applications in.
Very good.
The second thing is May 12th, I attended a meeting at the Warren County Economic Development Committee. The county has obtained a $50,000 grant to hire a consultant. They hired Tetra Tech, large, pretty well-known firm, to work with the communities in the county and enhance their economic development programs. I'm still a little fuzzy on the scope of work there. It's $50,000 to cover working with all the towns, so it's not going to be a lot of effort with each town. But they want to come in. Some towns don't even have economic development commissions. Those who do are a step up. And the recommendations could be from, marketing recommendations all the way down to, your zoning's not going to accommodate your goals, or you don't even have goals. So I'm not sure what's going to come out of it, but it's information. If our committee could reach out to the Warren County Economic Development Committee, or on the county side, Art Charlton is the Public Information Officer.
Okay.
Jason is Jason Sarnowski,
Okay.
spearheading the thing,
Okay.
and you can get on a mailing list and
Sure.
get in the fold. So
Yeah, thank you. I will contact him.
Lou.
I just have one thing, and that is the final closure on the contract with Delane. And that will include paying the retainer. And I think that's about it as far as closing. Then Manning, he will write up the closure on this. Also, we incurred a couple unexpected expenses because of utility companies. So I'd like for us also to seek a refund from our utilities companies. That's it.
Oh, did you ask on the utility company thing, did you ask for a vote on that, or are you just thinking about it right now?
No, I think whatever the recourse we have, we need to go after utility companies.
I think we should explore it, yeah, definitely.
Is
Always,
it-
always. Paul's gonna do it. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just want to get it out there. And that's into my report.
Cold in here.
Yeah, check conditions.
Yeah.
Really working good.
Ready for me?
Yes, Donna.
Okay. Two things. DPW, the last time I reported, one of our employees went on to higher things and better offers. I am here to report our second newest hired DPW employee has also taken another job in a different town. He's a great guy. Again, like I said with the last gentleman, always a smile on his face, always willing to help, always available. And for the little time he was here, he did a very good job. Very good job. And I'll certainly miss him. So right now we are, as you saw, we are approved to hire 2 full-time employees to replace those 2. And hopefully we can get that going as soon as possible before, snow season. I hate to say that now, but snow season will be coming. We'd like to get that done. So I wish both of them the best of luck. The DPW crew, what little we have left, will be out on the roads trying to do their best. It's warm enough. They can do some repairs, fix some potholes and the like. So hopefully they'll be out and about doing that and get that going. Second thing is last night, as you all know or may not know, we had a budget workshop meeting. I'd like to just say a couple of things about that meeting. I actually got up last night and left after the first 5 minutes of the meeting. My reasons for leaving were many. I'll give you a few. When I asked to be part of the budget process like I did last year and be part of sitting down with the budget owners, which were not even present at last night's meeting to even ask any questions, I was told I was starting to micromanage the finance department. I then let the council president know, after he told me I was micromanaging it, to let me know when we could proceed. I didn't hear back from him. I didn't hear back from anyone regarding the budget. There was an email sent out saying that the budget would have been delivered to us Friday at the end of business. I sent an email earlier asking for a copy earlier and was told no, because it's not fair to the other members of council. I'm a little bit different than the other members of council because I am on the finance committee, and that is my job to take part in the budget process. Apparently other folks here have been in and out working on the budget, and I was told I couldn't even get an early copy, let alone come in. I'm not the one scheduling meetings to sit with budget owners, and I don't know when they're happening unless I'm told. So nobody felt the need to let me know anything. So I thought that was very unfair, and had no part at all in any aspect of this year's budget. And I know last night was a preliminary meeting, but I do have to say, sadly, when I saw the budget, right now they have, last year was a 3% increase, a little bit less than 3%. This year, right now, preliminary, it's 9%. Had I been part of that budget, it would not have been 9% already. And as well, as I've noticed, there were many raises put into the budget for employees. That was never approved by council. You can say that you can add money to the line item and call it not a raise, but I'm sorry, any raise in anyone's salary is a raise. You can call it anything else you want, it's still a raise. And with the tightness of our money here and the things that we need to get done in this township, that's not acceptable to me. And there are also, it appears, other jobs that have been created in our sewer budget. There shows sewer clerk. To my knowledge, we've never had a sewer clerk. That's in there for about $5,000. I don't know who that person is, but they're getting $5,000 apparently to do the job. It's very disturbing to me that I wasn't even involved in it and that I couldn't be involved in it, and told I was micromanaging. So I've had no part of that budget. And just so you folks know, there's no part of that says Councilwoman Schneider in there.
I'd like to respond if I could. And what I'd like to do, I'm perfectly willing to disclose all of my emails with Donna, and you can make your own decision. I did come and I sat from time to time with Janice. The budget was a difficult process this year because we had a lot of work to do to reconcile things from last year. Donna was not forbidden from coming in. I came and went. Even sat with the mayor there one time. She was free to sit with Janice as much as she wanted. The sewer budget, I don't know what the clerk is, but what's happening, budget positions aren't created. What we did is we allocated, you have a tax collector, she spends 35% of her time on the sewer collections. That was allocated to the sewer budget. We allocated 5% of the Public Works Department. We allocated a small percentage of Janice's time. And there's a number of reasons you do this. And it's a fair allocation. People do it. Secondly, you have your budget has to be what they call cap compliant. And sometimes the constraints imposed by these caps just force you to do certain things to get a sufficient budget to pay your bills. The tax rate, what people don't understand, we really don't control the tax rate.
I'm talking local municipal portion.
And I'm talking local. What we can control is the budget. And budget to budget, we're up, I think, a little over 3%. Your tax rate depends on a number of things, including the ratables and some other things. So that kind of falls out of the whole thing. There's a lot of moving parts to the budget. The point of last night was to have an open budget hearing. She chose not to participate. She chose not to come around and sit near Janice. If you want to see what she's alleging I said,
that's not true.
I will have my emails available at the clerk's office. And if you want to look at them, you can go look at them.
That's not true.
And you can
Joe,
make your own judgment there.
That's not true. If you
well, you will read the emails and they, people can make
well,
their own
yeah,
decision.
I'll read you my email that I sent to you, and this is the last I've ever heard from you.
Yes.
You told me I was micromanaging the staff, wanting to be part of the budget process.
Why don't you read the email before that?
Which one?
There's a whole exchange.
Yeah, there is a whole
All right,
exchange.
I'm going to suggest, I'm going to put those all out. You want to read them, you
Yeah,
form your own.
sure.
I did not forbid her. I expressed an opinion. If she wanted to disappear, that was her problem.
Nope, that is not the case at all.
She wanted to walk out of the meeting last
I'm
night.
talking
She didn't want to
That's right.
participate. That
That's
was
right.
her problem.
No, I did not.
So
do
I have
that.
nothing more to say.
Okay,
You
good,
wanna
so I can
talk,
finish.
You want to make
Okay.
excuses, go
Yep.
ahead.
I will talk now. Definitely not excuses. My last email to you was, until I hear from you, I will remain silent, Council President, wanting to take charge of everything prior. So, yeah, I didn't hear anything from you. And if you were coming in to make changes to anything in the budget as a committee member, you're supposed to let the other committee members know what you've done, not just to come in and make changes to budgets without even contacting the rest of the committee. And someone is supposed to call me and let me know that there's budget meetings going on, because I asked and I was told no. And also, if you want to back up even further, I got an email saying that the budget process changed without any regard to the Finance Committee at all. So many things happened without my knowledge.
You know what? The Finance Committee is defined by ordinance.
That's right.
That's correct?
That's right.
And it says it vets the mayor's budget. That's what it does. It
That's
reviews
right.
the mayor's budget before it goes to council.
Yep.
You had that opportunity.
That's right. And I
Even the ordinance that the mayor submitted that was at variance with mine read the same way.
That's right.
So
That has nothing to
It was-
do with the fact that
it
we had a
defines what the Finance
conversation.
Committee
No,
does. So
right.
go ahead, you
Yeah,
finish.
Okay, can I
You go ahead.
finish? Okay, so if you're going to go that route, Joe, my last email to you did say, until I hear from you. I never heard from you, and guess what? The Finance Committee is supposed to, and because I sent an email Thursday asking for the budget or Wednesday, I was told no, because no one else has gotten to see it, when that's not the case. You got to see it.
That's not true at all. You've been misquoting me. That's the fourth time you misquoted me this evening. You said with the one ordinance done, I have emails myself,
No,
which I
and
will
we
make
should
available
we be right
with
noticing if
Joe's.
we're gonna, I'm not talking about employee performance right now, I'm talking about
but you're
emails.
talking about who said no, and not only did I not say no, I said it wasn't completed, you would get another one.
Right, but you started talking about her performance.
Okay, I'm not talking about her performance, okay? No,
You
there are no,
directly You directly did.
no, I didn't. I did not talk about your performance. I'm talking about the emails that I sent out. They're factual emails. That's
You
right.
misquoted me 4 times.
No.
Speaking about
Here,
myself.
all right, I'll read it.
I think,
I'm not
Donna,
speaking about
if
your
you had
job.
issues, you should have stayed last night to answer and ask those questions.
No,
But you chose to walk out, and now
that's
we're
right.
hearing
Well, I was
excuses,
available all
and you're
weekend.
wasting everyone's time.
That's right.
Again.
That's right. That's great, but I did not get to talk to any budget owners. I did not talk to any, all right, are we going to continue this, Katrina, or are we gonna, I'm making, if you want to tell me I'm talking something that I shouldn't, then go ahead and I'll just read a straight email.
If you're gonna say anything negative about any employees, or anything about any employee's performance, then I suggest you send them the
Okay,
rice notice
I'm
and
not,
talk
I'm
about it.
reading.
Well, if you're reading an email that's implying their performance, that's just
And
as
you're-
much as
and
if
you're-
you came right out.
Okay, so you're not gonna,
No, you can ask to issue a rice notice and talk about
Okay,
it next time in the
okay.
executive session.
okay, Katrina, but I'm reading this and you're not even sitting here trying to defend anything or trying to protect the council.
I am trying to
You
protect the
shouldn't,
council. I'm
unless
trying
I
to ask
asked
not to
you.
talk about employee
You
performance.
didn't. I had to ask you first before you even you didn't even interrupt.
Because I don't know what you're gonna say until you say it. So at
you
this point, I'm
interrupted.
suggesting that anything you're about to read that in any way implies anything regarding an employee's performance, I suggest instead you ask the
Okay.
council for a rice notice for next council meeting.
Okay, I'll just make a general statement that I wasn't asked to be part of anything, and I never got to talk to the budget owners. I don't even know what happened. There's raises in this budget. I don't agree with any of them. There's, the auditors also took part in creating our budget, and they're gonna audit the numbers that they created. So, that seems to
You
be a
didn't create the
conflict.
budget, and you're speaking about him as well.
I'm speaking,
I'm
okay?
talking to you.
No, I'm speaking. When I'm done, you can respond if you'd like, but I'm in the middle of saying
Yeah, but I
something.
haven't had a chance to respond.
Oh, sure I have. Everybody said plenty. There's no money in capital, yet you've got a 9% increase this year instead of a 3%. So in any case, that's my finance report.
All I'll say is if you had stayed last night, much of this would have been.
No, because 2 days to look at an entire budget is insufficient.
Yeah, it was.
And if you had stayed last night, some of your
Mayor, we had
questions
a
would have been
discussion about how
answered.
that happened as well.
Yeah, I'll also point out that if you read the charter, it's the mayor's responsibility to prepare the budget. So if there's a problem here.
Well, he didn't get to create the budget.
Sure you did. No,
He
I
did
think
have
Because
a
it
it's-
wasn't, okay, we're not going to talk about job
Mayor's
performance.
job to
So
create
let's
the
rice
budget.
notice then.
In the charter.
Yep.
Yeah, and he asked.
40
and he
hyphen,
asked.
40:69A-128 annual budget. The mayor shall prepare the annual budget with the assistance of the treasurer and the cooperation of the other members of council.
Where's the treasurer?
That would be all of us.
Where's the treasurer?
That's what it says. And what cooperation did you specifically ask for? The last meeting I had with you, you said you were done.
Yep. hands up.
Yep, hands up.
I sent a lot of emails around about the budget, asking people to proceed to bring the people in. From,
We
I don't
have
want to
emails
discuss
as
it
well.
here.
We're wasting everybody's time here, but I remember in February, you gave every department head 15 days to get their budgets in. That was your order.
Right.
So either you didn't get them, in which case you didn't follow up, or you got them and you didn't know what to do with them.
Nope,
So,
neither.
you know what? It's your job.
I had a discussion.
It's
You
June.
didn't get them. I
There
had
we
to
are.
ask for an email. I had to send out an email myself to request them because you didn't get them. We had a discussion. And I have an email as to that effect as well.
I have the whole string with the clerk. You want to read them, and you form your own opinion.
Yep.
I think you better talk to Katrina before you do that. Council reports, we did that. Report of the engineer. Paul?
Thank you, Mayor. A few things that I wanted to review with the council. First of all, on the Phillipsburg High School roadway improvement project, there's a need to increase the contract amount from that to Let me give you the number, $757,312.29 to cover two items. One is during the course of construction, a lot of deteriorated drainage structures as well as a deteriorated pipe adjacent to one of the catch basins that needs to be repaired. So we need to have that covered. And the second item is to cover an electric service for the medical office building. That's the one electrical item that JCP&L would not cover as part of this project. So the three parties to the interlocal agreement have to pay for that. So I'm asking for your approval for change order one. I will actually get you the form for your budget meeting on June 15th. And the one proviso to that, I am going to go back to the county because some of these deficient drainage structures are in a county roadway. And I'm going to try to get them to contribute, if not do the work associated with the repairs on these drainage structures. But in the event that they're not going to do that, we need to get this work done right now and stay on schedule so that the roadway improvements are done for the time, at the time that school opens at the end of August. So that's the first item.
All right, thank you. Second item?
Second item and third item are relate to one another. I did meet with Brian Weeks last week and we were looking at some signage issues. We recently adopted several traffic ordinances. One had to do with South 6th Street, which now allows stop signs to be installed on the side streets that intersect with that roadway. One of the roadways that is of concern is the intersection of Dana Street with South 6th Street. We'd like to get a stop sign there. The one problem is that you have a large hedge that within that hedge you have a fence within it that's really prohibitive as far as putting a sign in. We would need to remove the hedge, but I have a feeling that's something that the homeowner put in. So I think in order to put the sign there, and that sign is really needed, I think we need some help from the township attorney in talking to the homeowner, maybe writing the homeowner about this particular hedge, which appears to be in the right of way, and fence as well.
Okay.
So that's the first issue. So I guess the action item would be instructing or authorizing the township attorney to write that particular property owner about this improvement that's in the right of way that's preventing us from putting a stop sign up. The second item is not necessarily an action item. It has to do with another traffic ordinance that was adopted. This is the four-way stop at the intersection of Baltimore Street and South 1st Street. Brian and I went to actually mark out the stop bars. We are going to put the stop signs on South 1st. And one of the things I just want to inform the council on, the location where you put a stop bar can be affected by a crosswalk. Now I know there's not a crosswalk between the Busy Bees and the Phillipsburg Pharmacy, but there is a heavy pedestrian path at that location. And I envision where we may do a crosswalk at that location in the future. So in light of that, I need to push the stop bar back a little bit further from Baltimore Street to reflect that. I don't think it's a major catastrophe because I think a motorist that would stop at that location would inch up a little bit to see around the pharmacy before they were to make a turn or go straight across the intersection at that point. So I just want to make sure, and Brian wanted to make sure that there's no objections to that approach. If you have an objection to that approach, we would put the stop bar, I should say, closer to Baltimore Street, where motorists would pull up closer to the gutter, but it is going to interfere, I think, more greatly with pedestrian movements at that location. And if we did put a crosswalk in, we would have to undo the stop bar at a later date.
All right, now you've run this by the place?
I have not talked to Chief Garcia about it, but I can certainly do so if that's what you want me to do, or want Brian and I to do, I should say. Yeah. So those are the three items here. The first two require action. The change order, requesting that you approve that, and I'll actually have the form ready for you for the June 15th meeting.
Right.
The second is authorizing the township attorney to write the homeowner who has a hedge with a fence within the hedge at the corner of Dana Street and South 6th Street, because that is preventing us from installing a stop sign, which we can now do per an ordinance that we adopted. And the last item I gave you for your own information, and I guess maybe the action item for that is for Brian and I to meet with the chief to explain what we would like to do there, to make sure that he's okay with what we want to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so thank you for that report. And Chief? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Chief, one sec. The report on the Overlook Road, you were going to give us that.
Yes, I did, I think about 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
4 weeks ago.
You're going to speak to it, but you took a look at it and came up with 3 options.
Yes. Yeah, I can explain that to you tonight. Per your request, I took a look at the cost associated with installing the Overlook Emergency Access Road, and this would be an access road from Strikers Road into the Overlook community. It's about 2,800 feet in length if you begin at Strikers Road. We looked at 3 different scenarios as far as coming up with cost. Some looked at improving the roadway from Strikers Road all the way up into the Overlook community. Others looked at not doing anything to the stone road that currently exists within the solar panel farm property, and just building a new road from that particular point into Overlook. So there were 3 different scenarios and 3 different cost estimates. I don't, Mayor, I have to apologize, I do not have that file with me tonight. My recollection is that the cheapest of the alternatives was about $75,000.
Yes, it was.
And the most expensive was on the order of about $160,000. And what we would be talking about, what we would be talking about doing would be paving, putting a paved road that would be, I believe, 20 feet wide in order to accommodate 2-way traffic and allow for proper ingress and egress during the course of an emergency.
Okay. Now, this was promised to the people of Overlook 3 years ago by Councilwoman McCabe when she was running for office.
It wasn't promised.
We had a special meeting. There was a special meeting.
Promised.
There was a special meeting you held and spent taxpayer money.
All right,
Say it.
if I misused the word promise, this was
Again,
advocated,
misused the word.
advocated
It
by,
wasn't promised. We were going to look into it.
we're going to look
No.
into it.
We
And
just
she-
had a
and we-
budget
and
meeting
she
last
sent
night. I didn't see
a
75.
letter to everyone in Overlook to tell them that. But,
But I know why you did this, Mr. Mayor. It's election season. So go ahead.
no, I'm trying,
We're all in.
ever since I've been here, I've tried a few times to get attention back on this road because it was promised to a large portion of the community.
And were you in our budget meeting last night? Oh, Donna left, but you stayed, right?
I
That's
did.
right.
Do we have the money for that road, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah,
was told
probably
we
you
were
could
going
do
to
it.
get it.
We don't.
Take it from somewhere
You know it,
else.
and I
We
know.
could.
Oh, we should look at the
That's the
minutes
reason
of
why
that
it's not
meeting,
done.
because I was at that meeting as a resident, and I clearly remember sitting
Were you
here
at the
saying,
meeting last night, Donna? Did you see extra
"Oh,
money?
Maureen, you're so funny."
The township did,
Good, have a nice laugh.
I know.
the township does own the easement into that property. It's just the improvement.
The improvement, but, and that's, God forbid, a tragedy would occur up there and the only road into it would blocked. People can't get out with their vehicles.
We've done this
Well,
over and over.
We'll go back to that meeting. We'll go back to that meeting, Mr. Mayor. You can see what was said.
No, my position is that if we promise something like that, a safety
It
issue to the
wasn't
people,
promised,
that
Mr.
we
Mayor.
should,
Again, you're speaking out of.
So we had a special meeting for nothing?
we had a special
Wasn't
meeting and we
promised.
went and got an easement, so I guess there was some,
Got
Right.
an
Thought of
easement
doing
for
it, but-
potential future use. We did not promise to put aside funds because there was a lot of other priorities ahead. Just like at our meeting last night at the budget, we've got a lot of requests.
That's
Nobody's
right.
asking you, Juniper, right?
Yeah, there was a letter that was sent.
Yes,
No.
a letter was sent out.
no talking,
They've already-
From you.
don't talk until it's audience participation, please.
Listen, I don't recall any promises. Listen,
Never
there are needs and
promised.
there's wants. There's a wishful list. You know, and that's what that is. It's on that list, wishful, okay? And if there's someday we have tons of money.
Right.
And I'll overflow with honey and oil, then we'll do it.
But of course, that's not what we're talking about. The mayor's not asking to spend the money. The mayor's talking
The
about,
mayor just said the money's there.
no,
He just said
okay,
it.
yeah.
It can be done, although I hate the thought, you can borrow money to do it,
Of course.
but,
It's not a need.
it's not a need.
It's not a
Neither
need.
are raises.
It's not a need.
A raise is not a need either.
You have.
And if you attended the meeting last night, Donna, you would have known why those salaries were higher.
You know, I already told everybody I wasn't at the meeting, Maureen. They all know it.
Yeah, and
They all know it.
you're speaking out of turn because you don't
I'm
understand
not.
why there was no raise in that budget.
Yes, there is. You just call it a line item.
Well, I want
adjustment.
some resolution on this road. I mean,
It's on the back burner, it's on the wish list. Let's move on.
Yeah, told me.
That's what it's at.
Told me.
Well, I believe he runs the meeting.
well, I
To
think,
move on.
yeah, I do. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the $75,000 road. And we take the money.
Mr. Mayor, you live in that, don't you? Wouldn't that be a conflict?
No, not at all. It's public, there's 385 units up there.
And you're
I'm
one of them, aren't you, Mr. Mayor?
And this is not a luxury item, this is an emergency way to get in and out. Serving?
Kind of like when you tell DPW to break your neighbor's leaves.
You made a motion, are we gonna have a vote? There's a motion on the floor.
I'd love to second it, but that budget, I don't even know
All right,
what
I'll
is
withdraw
what.
the motion because it's not going to get passed.
Right.
All right. You'll have a chance to talk in a few minutes when we go to open. Okay. Let's see where we are. Now, Chief, I'm sorry, I called you up and I.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Evening.
The police summary report for May. We had a total of 864 logged incidents and activities during the month of May. Crimes and offenses during this time period, we saw 4 reports of theft, 4 reports of harassment, 2 reports of disputes and civil matters, 8 reports of domestic violence, 1 report of criminal mischief, 1 assault, 2 burglary reports, and 6 criminal and other arrests. Traffic violations that were cited, we had 28 moving and 27 non-moving violations that were issued. And then motor vehicle crash reports for the same time period. We had 16 motor vehicle crashes with 4 reported injuries. At this time, I'd also like to bring to your attention 2 officers for life-saving efforts that were performed during the month of May. Lieutenant Scott Bishey, Patrolman Travis Smith, they responded to a reported drug overdose and found the victim to be lifeless. And due to their training, quick response, and decisive action, a life was saved.
Yeah.
This was a job well done by both of them. And lastly, I'd like to recognize our law enforcement against drugs officer, or otherwise known as our lead officer. This is his first year for the new drug awareness program in Lopatcong School District. It was a great success due to Patrolman Robert Stefano. And Friday, June 3rd, we are set to have a 5th grade graduation picnic for the same program.
Good, very
That's
good.
the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Mayor, I don't know if we can go back into the engineering report again, because I think I need the council to approve my action items, just so I can get this stuff done for you between now and the next meeting.
All right, let's go back into the engineering report, and I'll make a motion to approve Paul's action items.
I think you should do, at least separate the Phillipsburg High School contractual matter versus the authorizing me to write a letter on Dana Road or whatever. that was.
All right, the 2 items that would require action, one is the, we're going to get a change order prepared for our June 15th meeting to increase the contract for the change orders, all right? So, but that we don't need to have. We do? Authorize him just to do that? Okay. All right, so motion to allow Paul to move ahead with that.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Roll call, please.
Councilman O'Carroll?
Yes.
Councilwoman McKay?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Dyer?
Yes.
Yes. All right, next item would be the authorization for Paul and/or the township attorney to call the homeowner concerning the signage issue. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. All, is that an all in favor? Yeah. There's no money. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Okay, is those the 2?
Yep.
Okay. All right, department reports. Are there any other department reports? None. Payment of bills.
To approve.
What?
Motion to approve department reports.
Oh, yeah, motion to approve department reports.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
I don't have any, but, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is payment of bills.
I have one question on the
Yes,
payment of bills.
Yes.
The first item on there, that was pending something.
The release, you received the release.
When?
A month or two ago?
No.
Yes.
How did you send it? Email?
No, I didn't send it.
Okay. I didn't get it.
In the clerk's office.
Okay, I didn't get it or had no knowledge that it even came in.
Council
So,
didn't say
is
they
there a
wanted to see it
copy?
again after it was signed. They just said they
Okay.
wanted a release, and I obtained the release, and
Okay.
the clerk has it on file.
Can I see a copy of it? I'd like to table until I see the release.
Which item is this now? What?
The first one.
Here?
No, the first bill.
Oh, the first bill.
What's on there now?
Oh. First bill, and we're not going to disclose who the bill is
I
involving.
don't recommend you do that.
Yeah, I figured that. All right. So, this is I'm gonna, I guess, end up doing this again, even though I'm not supposed to. But, our ordinance requires that this be done by the clerk.
Doesn't anymore.
What?
Just approved it.
All right. That's right. Okay.
Doesn't
I don't have a copy. What?
Doesn't require you read the,
Doesn't?
Just have to read the grand total.
does it even require the grand total?
I think,
No.
all right, I'll read
We
it
should
anyhow,
know.
as it is my
Oh, yeah.
practice. The total of the bills is $1,339,643.06. And, the lion's share of that, of course, is the quarterly, school tax, which is $1,115,000. What?
You said quarterly is
Oh, I'm
monthly.
sorry, monthly, yes, monthly. So, take a motion to approve bills.
I'd like to table the first item.
So I would
Oh.
recommend you make the motion with
Okay.
the one item removed.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time, for the request. So, before we make the payment, I'd like to actually see the documentation. So I would like everyone's patience and, table that until next meeting.
Do
So
I have a
motion to
second?
table that.
Second?
Are you making a motion to table or a motion to approve the bills with that one table?
Yes, approve the bills with just that one table.
All right, take a second.
Of course, you'd want to do that because, you know, you don't want to see any
What do-
documentation. Doesn't matter if you.
So now we can't pay bills?
Mayor, you can second it.
What?
You can second
Oh,
Motion to pay the bills?
You want to second my motion, Tom?
Oh, second. Yeah, I just want to pay the bills. Second, yeah.
I know, I want to pay the bills too. I just don't want to pay the first one yet until I can see the documentation. Because there's been a lot of controversy over that one, and I'd like to see the documentation to make sure what went out is what we requested and what came back is what we requested. And I think that's a fair thing to do.
Okay.
Can I ask, where is that? Why didn't that happen?
Because it somehow got lost in the shuffle, when I asked
what's
again
lost
for
in
it.
the-
I think it was going to be in your meeting packet last month, and it was going to be on the bill list last month, but that wasn't here last month, and I think it didn't get put in your packet. So I think it was supposed to be in last month's packet.
Well, actually, when I asked you that, you said, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I know I forgot to do it. So, but then you said because that person came up and asked you why they didn't get it yet, where I don't know why they would have even known that because that was executive session material. So,
I sent a letter to the person explaining, so of course she knew.
no, because the letter didn't go out yet, because she said, wasn't I supposed
The
to?
letter went out.
No, not when I asked
Yours
Katrina.
went out.
Excuse, I'm talking about something that you weren't a part of the conversation. When I asked her, the letter had not gone out yet, and she said, yeah, because the person reminded me. Wasn't I supposed to get something? And you said, yes, you are.
No, I
So
think the person said, I made a request for payment.
that's not what you said to me. But anyway, I asked for the letter to go out. It was several months that it never went out. I asked again, finally, I guess it did go out. I didn't know it went out. I didn't get to see what it said, and I didn't get to see it when it came back. So I think because I was the one that requested that it would be nice to see it before we approve the bill. And it's been since last year. I think one more meeting can do it.
Whatever it is, should be redacted. Is there any privacy issues in that?
No, there's not.
Document
I
itself,
wasn't asking.
document itself is not necessarily subject to
That's right.
It's not? Okay.
not subject to open, meaning
Okay.
it's not attainable.
Right.
It should be because we have a copy of it.
You said you don't have a
You have
copy.
copies of settlements and things of lawsuits, and that doesn't mean they're necessarily subject to open.
We have medical bills.
So maybe it can be redacted.
That's definitely not subject to Oprah.
Well, we shouldn't have a copy. Isn't any piece of
No,
paper in here that comes in? It
No,
should.
personnel records that have people's medical records in them. too.
Mhm.
I don't know if
course.
that's something that should be,
In any case, the letter that went out is definitely something I should see because it was something requested by me. So if I requested it, I should be able to see it.
Yes?
And I gotta ask you, as CFO, this got on the bill list. I mean, was everything in order? I don't really care who saw the letter. Then the letter went out. Is the bill in order or not?
Yes, it's in order according to what can possibly be divulged. And we left it as is, and I've had this in other towns as well, and it's the same type of thing, and it's perfectly fine.
Sure it is, but I asked for it to go out and every time I ask for something to go, many times, I don't get to see it. I don't even get to see complaints that come in to the building. Other people have gotten emails about them. I don't get the emails. I don't get anything in my box. Everything I asked for has never been given to me. So I'm asking for one thing. I asked for the letter to go out. I did not see the letter. Apparently it came back without my knowledge either. It would be nice to have some updates on things that you asked for.
And I said, I asked Beth to put it in your packet last time, but in between me asking and it happening.
But it's not in this month's
For an
packet.
emergency. I know, I think that was a mistake. is what I
Right,
was
so
saying.
then we should table that because we should have a
I'm not saying you
copy.
can't table it or shouldn't. I'm just trying to explain that you made it sound like I didn't give it to you and I don't want you to see it.
I
gave it
didn't
to Beth
mean
and
you.
I asked
I didn't
her.
mean you in particular, but
And
I
think
didn't
that
get to
was
see it.
why, because I expected on the bill list last month and Beth had an emergency and I think that's what the disconnect was. I'm not sure because I just sent it and asked it to be put in the packet.
May I make note of something? I don't get a lot of things that I have to pay for as well until up to the moment that they paid. And that's, I think, just a disconnect around here, period. It's not anybody, it's not anyone. It's just a disconnect that we could all fix and move forward.
Sure, but that's why I would like this tabled until maybe we can fix something. But I'm only asking for it till next meeting till I can see it. Or you can go get the document now and give me 5 minutes to look at it.
I
Okay,
think we
can you
just got the
table the
word from
one?
the CFO that the numbers were in order.
It's all.
That has
order.
nothing to do with the fact that I asked for the letter to go out. I want to see what's in it and I want to see what came back.
The amount
letter
of
went
the
out to
bill.
the town, correct? So what?
I want to make sure what we asked for was what was in
At
it.
that point?
I don't want the letter, I just want to see what went out was exactly what we asked for.
That's irrelevant to the amount that we need to approve
Of course,
right
it's
now.
not relevant.
Why are you wasting our
I'm being
time?
sarcastic, Maureen.
I
Of course,
didn't
it's
see
not relevant to you.
This letter, can you tell me what this letter has to do with?
I can't because it's executive session material, so that's why it's being so vague.
Is it germane to processing of the bill?
The information that I had was sufficient enough to process the bill, and I know nothing about this situation, but I know it's enough. It was decided by the legal team, and that's what I need to know to do my job.
Whatever. Whatever. Release.
Under the
Or
licensing of the
anything
state of New
changed.
Jersey.
The letter said, enclosed, please find a release. If you sign it, council will pay the bill.
Hey,
So,
look,
and we got a release.
I don't get copies of Bryce notices, I don't get copies of employee
That-
complaints, I don't get copies what I should be getting copies of. For
Doesn't have
one,
anything to do with this.
it does, because I
We-
asked for
Did
it.
we get the release, Katrina?
So if you ask for something to go out, you don't want to see what went out to make sure that it was accurate?
We just got the authorization
It
from our
went out.
CFO.
It doesn't matter what the authorization was
I'm
from
not
the
sure what
CFO.
else you need, Donna.
That's what my license says.
I know that. I'm not talking
Says that
about
I'm
your license
authorized
or
to pay
questioning you.
And have
Janice,
checked
please.
all the funds. Well, this is a waste of time.
It's not a waste of time. This is my time. It is not a waste of
And this is
time.
my time as well.
Right, so why is it that I can't get a copy of what I
Would
want?
you please put it down there?
What? I made a motion and I seconded the motion.
I'm waiting for you. All right, call it for a vote.
People
Call
are
for a vote.
unbelievable. You really are unbelievable.
There's a motion to approve the bill list and hold that one item until Donna gets to see the paper that she's asked for. And it's been seconded, so we'll do a vote.
Councilman Valcarro.
I'm voting to pay the whole bill.
Then don't,
Well, that's not.
Not the motion.
yeah, that's not the mo.
Of course.
Councilwoman McKay.
No.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
No.
Mayor McKay.
Yes.
All right, I'm making,
So
go ahead.
funny.
Go ahead.
I'm making a motion to pay the entire bill list.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Oh, civility, no, listen,
Such
we're doing this
a
properly.
We are.
The CFO says everything is
Hey,
in order.
Nobody was
The
questioning what's in
attorney
her
says
order.
everything is in order.
I seconded the motion on the floor, please.
There.
Uh,
We need a vote.
Call the roll.
No, questions and comments first.
All right.
I think we've heard enough.
No, we haven't. Yes, whatever you say, and it's not public comment right now. So anyway, yeah, I'm not questioning the CFO's abilities, nor am I questioning anyone else's abilities. It's something I'd like to see, and a common courtesy would have been appreciated, but go ahead.
We need a vote.
Roll call.
Councilman Valcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McKay.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
No.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
No.
Motion carries to pay the bill.
Audience participation. I take a motion, to open audience participation.
Motion.
Take a second.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is open for audience participation. Are the members? Jennifer Leifer.
Maureen, excellent job with the air conditioning. It's freezing in here. Really, really cold. I've
Wasn't
been
me.
shivering the whole
didn't do
time.
Sorry.
Okay, I have a couple of things that I want to go over. First of all, Donna, I'm very disappointed to see that you were kept out of the budget process. I'm not sure if Mr. Pryor was aware of how hard you worked on that budget last year and how many countless hours you spent creating what was one of the best budgets we've had in a long time, with the lowest municipal tax increase in almost 10 years. So maybe had he recognized that, he would have understood that you deserved a place at the table in that conversation. Maureen, you made a couple of comments about the things that we have in common, the things that we share, like the events at Veterans Day. And I agree with you, Maureen, and it's really refreshing to hear you say things like that, because you don't generally put forth that kind of conversation. And I really hope, and I'm not here to lecture you again, but you can do better and you can work together. And we do have a lot of community events. I'm at them regularly. I'm involved in several different components of this community, and we have a lot in common. And we have a lot that we share. And even if we disagree, we can come here and we can act respectfully toward one another. And, you did make a lot of promises that you were going to bring the council together, Mr. Pryor, in your campaign. And it's disappointing to see, and I would just like to finish my comment if that's okay, because I think that you could honestly do a better job of including people. You have a person who's obviously poured their heart and soul into the budget. You don't exclude them from the conversation. You don't bully them out of the conversation. You extend the olive branch and you say, hey, we're on the finance committee together. Let's sit down and talk about this. And even when there are disagreements, at least you're involving one another and you're not pushing people out, because that is never going to create the right environment with your colleagues. So I'm hoping that at some point we'll all get on the same page, because it really is a waste of everybody's time to have all this infighting. I mean, if your colleague, for instance, Mr. Pryor, says, hey, I'd like to, approve this list of bills, but just this one thing I'd like a little bit more information on, I think you could grant them that courtesy. I don't think it was an unreasonable request. So for the other majority to come together and go, no, you can't have that simple request that wouldn't have made a difference, is a political posturing that is not necessary. And I'm just going to say that. I'm going to leave that there, and I hope that you understand that it's true, because it is. I really do hope that we can do better. And also, I had a couple of things that I wanted to mention about the budget meeting last night. I was not able to stay for the majority of the meeting. I left after the first hour, and I was informed later that the Environmental Commission's budget was essentially removed. And I unfortunately didn't have a chance to talk to you today, Tom, and get the information on that. So I just wanted to come to you and hopefully get you to reconsider that thinking if that is on your mind, because I think it would be a tremendous disservice to not only the volunteers who have poured their heart and souls into providing new programs for this community, but the residents who are benefiting from the events and the activities that we're engaging in. We've already spent more than the 500, I think, that was mentioned, giving to us. It doesn't allow us to do anything but have a membership in ANJEC, and doesn't allow us any funding to get the training and the workshop that we need. And I just want to say, conservation is the wave of the future. It's really important that we have a community that's paying attention to those issues, that's providing those kind of opportunities and education to students. That's really, a career of the future, just like technology was in my generation. Now it's conservation. So to have an environment or a location where people don't have access to that kind of understanding and making that connection to conservation and the ground under their feet and how it operates, I really think is a disservice to our community. And if you read through the report that I submitted to the council, telling you about our whole entire first year and our plans for next year, you'll see that we do have a lot of high hopes for what we can do. We've been working really hard, researching one possible program that we're interested in bringing into the schools, a program that would enable our students to raise trout to be released into our Category 1 trout stream, which would be a phenomenal experience for them. But if we don't have any funding, we can't offer those. And you never do that to anybody, because that's okay. And I'm trying to, this is her commission report.
You started out complaining about the budget, all right? And
No, I was just commiserating with Donna.
Criticize Joe, okay, for not involving her.
I said, hey, let's
okay?
get
But
along.
that's not part of your commission report. So your 5 minutes is up.
Okay, I would like to just finish talking.
Come on.
That's okay.
Tom,
Let's not, that's not going
Are
to
you
do anybody
granting her
any good.
time or what, Tom?
Two more minutes, Jennifer,
Okay,
2 more minutes.
thank you. If I could just speak, Mr. Buckhouse,
2 more
if I could
minutes.
just speak. That would
And
be
then
You
great.
gotta be fair.
Okay,
Yes, you could have stood up then.
do you see what you're doing?
She's not a
You're
department, she's a
creating
commission.
difficulty for no reason. I'm speaking about reasonable things. I'm expressing something that I think is important to our community. I work very, very hard.
I have another suggestion for you. I would love to talk to you, I'd be going home during the week, where you can get some funding.
Okay, great. Well, that'd be great. But I would really like to see the support for from the township on this. I'm very familiar with the contributions that environmental commissions can make in their communities. Through my work, I see environmental commissions operating all over the state, and we have been working aggressively to help bring those same opportunities to the people of Lopatcong. They deserve it. Well, I feel like I'm defending something, and maybe I can lean on my fellow Democrat here to talk about the importance of conservation to our constituents, because we do know that it is a critical
It
cause.
is,
So,
it is.
Money on the water barrel?
no, it was a free workshop. We didn't make money on that.
Come back.
We didn't make any money on that. We were told we couldn't charge for it, but we did ask about that. All right, thank you.
You know what, all I'll say,
Thank you.
I'm not here today, but if you read the charter, you read the ordinance of the Environmental Commission, it says nothing about raising trout for school children and so on. I know you have all these great goals, but that is not what the ordinance says. Your charter is to advise the planning board on open space issues.
It also talks about informing the community and keeping the community aware and informed about conservation issues. It says
I
that
am
in
not
there.
going to put that amount of resources there.
It depends on your priorities. Some people think the environment's important. I mean, we had for years in this town, the environmental committee didn't do anything. They didn't keep minutes, they didn't produce a report, and they didn't do anything to liaison with the planning board, as far as I know. So the fact that we now have an enthusiastic planning board, I think should be supported. That's my position. I'd like to ask in the future that when we do departmental reports, we can do departmental / commission, all those things, and let any commission, committee wants to come in and give a few minutes. Now, this way, they participate in the community, and we hear what they're doing, and that's good. Like the EDAC could do that.
Fair
And
enough.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, just
You
we
agree?
have a comment.
Okay.
There's no liaison, that's
Yeah,
the
5
problem.
minutes, and that's it.
There's no liaison to the group, so when EDAC has something, Maureen talks about it. When any other commission that we have a liaison, recreation, LAA, if they all have liaisons, this one doesn't, so she has to.
I'm the liaison. I'm the liaison.
Are you the liaison? All right, well,
Liaison should be giving your.
All right.
But in the next meeting,
The next meeting I will.
you can come up under,
There was a very successful rain barrel thing that they did, and what 25 rain barrels were produced, and people using them in the houses to catch the rainwater and to water their gardens, and that's a good thing. Peggy?
Margaret Taylor, 1016 Deer Haven Terrace. I live in Overlook. You're talking about someday maybe an emergency road. My question is, where is it going to come into Overlook?
Paul?
There is a court, and it's not a named court on the maps. There's a dumpster at the very end of the court. It backs up against the solar panel farm property, and that's where the emergency access road would connect to your road system. The dumpster would have to be relocated as part of that work effort.
Okay.
Do you know the court I'm talking about?
It's a parking area.
Yes.
Yeah, it's between building 18 and 19.
Yes.
And we just redid the whole pad with a brand new dumpster area, but I'm sure this is in the far distant future, correct? Right. It's not about to happen tomorrow.
That's the council's choice.
All right, I would hope it's in the near future. I think it's needed, but
Well,
we'll get back to it.
okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
Thanks, Peggy. Peter?
Olszewski Highlands Way. A couple things. EDAC, I didn't know we stopped it. Maureen is heading that now for like, I believe, almost 2 years. And what are you able to report any successes?
I reported tonight.
I mean, you asking Juniper if she made a profit on the rain barrels. For the last 2 years where you had this thing up, you didn't do anything. Nothing.
Excuse me.
There was nothing done.
That's wrong.
Absolutely
We had a shop
nothing.
located on card that we made a.
Yeah, I know, it was my idea.
And I gave a report tonight, and it wasn't your idea.
Absolutely it was.
Your idea had something to do with taxes, but I don't know why I'm arguing.
And so,
Go ahead.
asking Juniper if she made money, while you, over the past 2 years, absolutely did nothing. And you stopped it without the, you have not even had meetings, nothing.
Juniper can speak for herself, and I
So,
had a meeting last week. That was my
I was at the
report.
budget
You
meeting
weren't
yesterday.
listening, Peter.
I was at the budget meeting. When is the public receiving the preliminary budgets?
After it's introduced.
To see.
Yeah, there's another public budget meeting on the 15th.
I was here
15th.
yesterday. I agree with Donna to some extent. Lou was AWOL, I don't know.
And you
The department heads not here. I don't know that 2 days is enough to talk about a budget. I don't think it is. Lou's talking about needs versus wants. We're talking about an access road, an emergency road to Overlook, which you think is a want, but raises for employees who are making an excess of $150,000 is a need. I think you guys are out of your mind.
I think if you stayed for the meeting, you would have proper information, but once again, you don't, Peter. But
yeah, it does.
Ma'am?
you're out of your mind, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Little inappropriate. Inappropriate.
It's right for him to say.
It's public comment.
It's public
They're
comment.
public.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Celia Waters, and I'm 519 West School Lane. I
Yes.
really would like to just make a general statement to everyone. I'm blessed to have parents, 96 and 92 still, and to this day, they don't have a credit card. So we were raised that you saved for what you needed, you spend what you have, and if you're looking for major things, a goal or something, you put that to the side, and when you got there, that's when you did it. So I would like to just make a suggestion, and I can't change, and I can't fix, and I can't do many things, but our budget, we are a small town, and all of you are business people, and you know that the businesses out there that I'm working for, and some of you are working for, I'm not giving out any longer 5 and 6 and 7% raises. Never mind anything else. So keeping in mind that, I'm sure, and I don't know the percentage of how many seniors live in this community, that maybe I'm fixing comes and so forth on. I would just like to say that let's all keep in mind, let's all do the best we can. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, because it's not really the wise thing to have too many people move out because they can't afford taxes and they can't afford food and they can't afford things. So I'm sure that we're all going to do the right thing. That's all I like to say.
Thank you for your comment.
Maybe I can make the suggestion that the whole meeting last night is on tape. Watch it. You can shape your own judgments, all right? Because there's a lot of misinformation floating around.
Eric?
I want to say one thing. I wasn't here last night because it was personal. I wasn't AWOL, Pete.
That's correct, yeah.
61 Stonehenge Drive. Regain some focus here.
Did you just call Peter did you just curse?
Could you please let?
No, you just cursed?
Donna.
What is that? To a resident?
What are you talking about?
You just cursed and called him a name.
I heard,
Are you
I don't
kidding
want,
me?
that's not my position, but I heard a wall,
That's all I
not
heard.
a hole.
No, he just said the F word and called him an idiot.
We didn't hear it, Donna.
Of course you didn't hear it. Of course you didn't hear it.
Hey, Donna said it, not me.
Unbelievable.
Well, you have been known to make outbursts such as that in the past, and we have to all be careful.
Wow.
Okay.
Eric Johnson, 361 Stonehenge Drive. Yeah, you're good on that. Okay, 2.5 years ago, I approached the council with some speed concerns on the fast traffic on Stonehenge Drive in the vicinity of the intersection of Lorne. So what happened? So that was October 2013. We brought it up and we did a study, and the Warren County Engineers Department helped us with that study. August 2014, the traffic counts were completed, and we needed to continue on with the study, which council voted to continue on with the study. September 2015, that study was done, and our engineer did a report and a study on it and realized that the traffic counts weren't high enough for the right percentages to put a stop sign there. But that didn't address the concerns. In October 2015, in order to address these concerns, Mr. Sturmans put out a cost of $1,000 to complete the speed study. I've kind of lost track of it, but it's still a concern of mine. Throughout that 2.5-year process, I've heard the opinion of the Warren County Engineers Department and our own engineer, who was out there and said that the traffic is moving too fast. They were not asked. They just said, they were out there for the reason, and said, yes, the traffic is moving too fast. So what I'm asking is to the council to authorize our engineer to complete the study. It's been a while, but I'd still like to see it completed so that he can make an appropriate recommendation for a traffic calming solution that we desperately need. And if he does not need to do the study and has the recommendation already, that's great too. But it could be as simple as a speed limit sign, because that road is not even posted. So I'm asking council to authorize Bolt to do what he needs to do to wrap this up.
All right, thank you.
And so you can do that. And my second thing I wanted to bring up, in the April meeting, I volunteered to take a look at the possibility of our high school students walking through the park and accessing the high school property at the corner. I don't have an update for you on that, but you know, I am thinking about it. But something came to my attention, and I wanted to bring it up to you. I've been approached by a few of the neighbors in my town, in my street area, Luar area. And they're very concerned with the high school. They're concerned for two reasons. The first thing is it's got one way in and one way out. That scares a lot of people. And also the other thing, they were concerned about the students walking on Belvedere Road and how the walkers are going to get there safely. Now, I share their concerns, but they said that they were also hearing rumors that our mayor doesn't want to see our students walking through the park and doesn't want to see that access point being utilized by our students. I have to ask you, Mr. Mayor,
Completely false.
is this true?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be clear. And it saddens me to hear rumors like that going around, which are complete opposite of what's actually happening. So it's disheartening. I will continue with this study and take a look at it, unless the council has a different opinion, or have you talked about it, or do you all agree on anything, or do you still want to see? I'm assuming you probably still want to see something, unless anyone's opinion is.
I do. I think I'm a proponent of exploring this, because I think it would take some pressure off the, the one entrance into the high school, and it would be a safer route for the kids. Now, I know it means we have to maybe plow it or something, but, it could be a seasonal thing where it's just open, during good weather, and it's closed the dead of winter.
So there's no difference. So we're in the same place we were in April. I can go ahead and take, I'm sorry I haven't gotten anything to you. I really do apologize for that. But in the back of my head, I realized we had time because I had the whole summer, so I procrastinated a little bit, which you'll do when you're the head soccer coach for your kids. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So I'll look at this when I have a chance. And if you can please authorize Paul to continue that
All right.
study, I would appreciate it.
Thank you. And, Paul, you're going to continue with that study and come up with a feasible solution for the traffic
Well, to
situation?
continue the study, I believe, and I have to look at my notes, I think we talked about putting a counter out there that would also measure vehicular speeds. So there was $1,000 cost to do that.
To do the count, how much would it cost to put up a speed sign? Maybe we should just go right to the speed sign and...
You talk about one of the ones, if you're exceeding the speed limit, it would flash.
Not even a regular street sign that says speed limit 25 miles per hour. Is that what you meant, Eric?
Honestly, whatever Paul thinks is appropriate for the street. I just know it's not marked right now.
No,
No signs.
it's a 25 mile an hour speed limit there. It's probably less than $100 to do something like that.
So would it make sense just to put up that sign for now and see how it works?
What do you think?
Yeah,
You were out there.
the street should have a speed limit sign on it. When you turn from Red School Lane onto that section of Stonehenge Drive, there should be a speed limit sign within probably the first 300 feet.
All right, then why don't we proceed with doing that? Chief, do you have anything on that? To post that sign, does that sound like something that makes sense? Yeah, okay. So why don't we do that, all right? We'll put a sign up there if you recommend it. And then we don't have to go through a lot of other things here. We can get it done quickly. I like quickly.
Yeah, I'll meet with Brian, and I have traffic ordinance stuff to do, so we'll go over there and we'll cite where the sign's supposed to go.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Thank you for alerting us to the situation. Any other people for public comment? Mr. Mangucci? Oh, all right, well,
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
we'll catch you.
801 Belvedere Road, here in Lopatcong. I'm not even sure I know where to start. Let me just address the overlook situation. You can look at things in all different ways, and correct me, Chief, if I'm wrong, but I believe back in April of 2005, we had an incident up there. Was that an Amber Alert or whatever at that time? It was a high-speed chase that led into that development. Had there been an emergency access road, maybe that guy would have had another way out.
If he knew about it.
If he knew about it, correct. So, I mean, you could look at things both ways. Once that guy got in there, then he basically was trapped. He had no other way to get out.
So were all the people that lived there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And
they were very nervous about it, and I keep hearing it all the time because I lived there.
You
Yeah.
could look at it either way,
Right.
okay? And I'm not saying that access road doesn't need to go in there, as any other emergency access road doesn't need to go in. But have you ridden Red School Lane lately? Have you ridden Strikers Road? Have you gone up Fox Farm Road? Have you ridden Baltimore
Yes.
Street?
Yes,
Have you
to
ridden
all
all those roads?
Yeah, they're on
Well,
the
if you're looking at priorities, I think they need to be taken care of before Overlook. Now, the safety of the people in Overlook, obviously that is always a priority, but you need to take a look at the balance of things here. You can look at the safety of people going up and down Red School Lane, Baltimore Street. Those roads are in a shambles.
And at last night's budget meeting, we were in the beginning stages of putting together a 5-year plan to determine which of the roads has to be repaired and to find a way to get the funds to repair it.
Well,
It's likely that we'll have to borrow money to do the big roads. I don't think we can do that from year to year.
And I'm sure Paul will look into some grants for those.
Of course. And we're just starting that discussion. I want to see a program in place where we know what we're going to do by next year.
Obviously, the safety of our people is first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Nobody would disagree with that.
Absolutely.
But the timing of your statement tonight and this, come on, Mayor. I've been around a long, long time. You know what it was. I know what it was. And trust me, these people behind me know what it was. Thank you.
Actually,
I
it
asked for
wasn't.
that. I asked for a list of the roads and their conditions and all of that months ago.
We've been trying to do that since I got in office. Okay, anyone else? Sir, you, Nat? See that? It's like magic. Okay.
Brian.
Brian?
I'm going to address it, Paul, but I want you all to know. Please pass it around. That's coming out of the pipes, the jets of the pool. I don't know, we had a divers in today, we had things going on today, trying to figure out what it is.
What's that thing with the
And,
antennas?
I don't have an answer for it yet, all right? They're giving me a proposal to dig up where that came out of, which I'm gonna talk to you, Paul, about. But, I just wanted all council to know as a whole, so there's nobody can say, you weren't told, I wasn't told, this wasn't told, Howard wasn't told, all right? I want it documented that I told you what's going on. I want it documented that it's been said. All right, because I really don't know what's going on with it. All right, we're losing a bunch of water, and you know what I mean, we do need to take steps to make it right. So I don't think if you want to keep your pool going, I don't think it's a money issue. It's something you need to do. And I know there's a bunch of other things that need to be done, roads, equipment in my house, you know, 1950s. I don't drive cars in 1950 anymore. So I just want to bring aware to you what we have. All right. And I'll be talking to Beth and Paul and stuff and Janice and wherever we got to go with that and the mayor or whatever. All right. But I just wanted you to be aware. So, all right.
Thank you for your report. Okay, it looks like that's it with the public comments. So I will close public comments. I'll take a motion, take a motion to close public comment.
Motion.
I'll take a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now I believe Donna has asked for some
Yes,
time.
I've asked the mayor to give me a couple of minutes after public comment has closed. I have a statement I'd like to read, and I'd like to have some respect, please, while I'm reading it. I ran for council to stop an unwanted asphalt plant and to bring much-needed change to our township. Throughout my term, I have looked at and heard more than enough disturbing information to validate my decision. In my effort to bring back transparency and good government, I have been blocked from receiving the information needed to make sound budgetary decisions. The former mayor tried to make you think I had done something unethical, urging residents to file an ethics complaint because I wanted copies of documents to understand the budget and try to fix serious issues, such as misspent COA monies. I believe this issue is now an executive session, so we can't speak about it. The pool costing taxpayers more than it should. When I asked for a review, they hired their own personal person to review it instead of an independent auditor that was licensed. Thousands of dollars missing in grants receivable fund that were never reconciled, a serious issue that auditors let slide. Overinflated budgets due to baseline budgeting. Auditors that allow the same bad practices to continue year after year as per their own audit. Attorneys who I believe continue to protect and promote the majority's agenda by their bad behavior on the dais and contributing to a political PAC along with our engineering firm, and in my opinion, to keep hold of the township, allowing these bad practices to continue. Remember, they are all being paid to protect every council member without bias, not just the majority. When I identified serious issues, I believe the majority created a smokescreen to distract residents from the real issues by wrongly accusing me of things that would make news headlines. And it worked because although it was a close race, the old regime got voted in again at the last election. This township in a landslide voted in a new mayor to do the right thing. The majority took away all decision-making ability afforded to the prior mayor, yet you all say Tom is a dictator when he wants the same. Another smokescreen, a complaint that was recanted, and the majority still pursued it when I believe there wasn't one. Hanging their hats on the word man-hater, taken out of context during an interview with a New York City attorney they hired, which appears to have charged a much lower fee than he would have anyone else. The mayor was censured, but majority failed to censure Belcaro when he said he doesn't get his rocks off by censuring the mayor. A disgusting and vile comment went unpunished. A councilwoman showed a picture of her daughter that night to the residents, condemning Mayor McKay, but I believe she didn't feel the need to protect her daughter from Mr. Belcaro's perverted comment. The prior mayor asked me to meet with him early on, asking me to shut my phone off for fear of being recorded. Such requests are apparently standard operating procedures and have occurred not just with me. The former mayor fails to realize cell phones are not the only method to record evidence of such conversations and hidden agendas. But Tom still sits here fighting for the residents, and you all say he has unfounded conspiracy theories. Allow him to hire new professionals to put the rest of his theories to bed. In my opinion, we will find out that his other theories will be validated as well. But that won't happen because I believe the majority will never hire anyone other than the current professionals to keep it all buried. As for the recall, it appears the efforts have failed. Good to know so many of you still support Mayor McKay. How about council majority, instead of trying to destroy the mayor, support his efforts for change the vast majority of residents voted for? You hold the good residents of this town in utter contempt by going against their wishes and keeping the machine running. For this and so many more reasons, I am sadly resigning from my position as councilwoman of Lopatcong Township, effective immediately. Thank you for the residents who voted and supported me through the years. I met so many great residents and municipal employees that I otherwise would never have met if not for this opportunity. I have put my life on hold to help the residents and bring about change and transparency. But change will never be made unless you vote the old regime out next election. Good night.
Wow. Okay, Donna, thank you for your speech, and we're going to miss you.
Thank you, Tom.
You know, I've long found it to have been a disgrace how this good and well-intentioned woman was treated, and she asked nothing for her services. She took nothing for her services. She could not be compromised. She was not compromised. She did not arrange for employment for her relatives. She didn't use her position to secure personal enrichment. She didn't receive any form of pecuniary gifts. She acted with class and dignity the whole time. She only asked to be given basic information, and she wasn't taken seriously. Nobody wanted to let her get involved. Now, during her first year in office, she repeatedly asked for information, and really, I was in the audience. She wasn't getting it. She did attain fair wages for the DPW and negotiated the police contract, and she soldiered on and with class and dignity the whole time. Now, during the second year, she championed the zero-based budget process that involved the department heads in the process for the first time. We had the lowest tax increase in recent memory. She chaired the Finance Committee, Shared Services Committee. She was the liaison to DPW. She was a supportive colleague, and she was a trusted confidant. When the annual tonnage report was due, no employee would do it. So Donna went out, got the information, put it together, and did it herself. It got filed. We didn't have to pay an excess of $18,000 bid, which is the only bid that came in if somebody else do it. When the annual best practices report was due and no employees would do it, Donna actually prepared the entire report and sent it in. $250,000 plus in grants hung in the balance. When the CFO, tax assessor, and zoning officer abruptly left office, it was Donna who stayed with the mayor and helped arrange for temporary help and transition until permanent help could be found. I recall one senior staff member just went on a week's vacation, and the council majority were nowhere to be found. So Donna will be very much missed by the mayor. I take a motion to end the meeting.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.